John Welch, Freeborn method. What is the best way to rotate your neck? Well, the first thing to think about is you don't want to rotate your neck, you want to articulate your neck. When people rotate the way they've always rotated, it's a lazy process where the sternocleidomastoid tends to take control. What they're missing is the Splenius capitis muscle, which runs from the mastoid down to the bottom of the nuchal ligament in the neck, and it is the offsetting rotational articulating force of the sternocleidomastoid, which goes from the mastoid to the front by the clavicle and the sternum. And when we rotate, if our head is moving slightly in the direction of where we're rotating, we're not getting the Splenius capitis to take charge or do anything. From what I've seen with my clients, nobody's Splenius capitis basically is working. It's not a muscle most people are necessarily aware of and how to turn it on. So when I go to make a rotation, if I do a slight backslide where my head slides back, I get my ipsilateral, same-sided mastoid bone to have a sort of a reframing of sequence. So when I rotate here, I'm thinking about this mastoid bone behind my left ear as the action, right, pulling me back. It slides me away from the rotation, slides me slightly away, even incorporates in a little thoracic side flexion. There's a little articulation of the thoracic spine. Even if I'm moving slightly, what we're going to see is there's this necessity for a contralateral side flexion in order to get the Splenius capitis to do its job. It needs to get a length tension on it. If I'm rotating and my eyes are level, I'll put on my readers real quick. If my eyes remain level when I rotate, I'm not getting this sort of pitched angle to get the side flexion. So there's a curiosity piece to it. So when I'm looking off to my left, there's going to be a little bit of a tilt, a pitch, where I can create length tension up at the mastoid and then back at the same time. So I've got two forces, one going up and one going back over here. When I go this way, there's a little pitch, right? There's a force up here, and then there's a force here from the mastoid. So when learning how to get this, right, and you start adding in the thoracic spine, but it all starts with the nuchal ligament, your ligamentum nuchae, which is a massive ligament that goes from the back of the head and it connects with the tip of every spinous process in your cervical spine. This is not working. It's not online for basically anybody I see, where if the back of the head drops down, we lose this positioning of the head. That becomes a problem, a major challenge for how to create construction. So we need to have this uprising force first, where we create length tension to the nuchal ligament, and then from there we learn how to work this. It just becomes how we rotate. You start to understand that rotating like this, where your head loses that back of the neck integrity, it feels disjointed. You know, to rotate right, the right side of the neck of the spine closes down a little bit. The contralateral, the opposite side, opens up a bit. So when you backslide on the rotation with this mastoid leading the charge, the Splenius capitis working in construct with the sternocleidomastoid, and I know there's other muscles involved here, but in general, when we get this, when we backslide, we're not getting that weird pinching down of the vertebra, of the facet joints, and we get the neck working. So the muscles that are getting too dominant and facilitated, like the scalenes, the suboccipitals, the sternocleidomastoid, there's these common muscles, the levator scapula. There's these common muscles that are doing way too much, but when you look at this, man, that Splenius capitis is the one. And if we're looking at both of these, this is the missing link in secret weapon of the human species. This needs to get online first, and then all four of these muscles are attached to the nuchal ligament. These three, upper traps, rhomboid minor, serratus posterior, superior, they get facilitated, they overwork, they dominate. This one is offline. It doesn't know how to do its job, so we need to wake it up.